Hey guys, Susanna here. I am back doing a video that I said I would do in a few videos earlier. That I wanted to revisit this because this was a really popular PDF that I have done, and the earlier videos, which is in the sewing section, in my sewing playlist. So this one will be in my slow stitching, I think, playlist. So I thought I'd make a bigger one, so I pulled apart this, and I have got a PDF. So I'm just going to do it the same as the other one, PDF for $1 on my Etsy store, which is linked below. But I thought I'd pull apart this other one, and I'm also utilising. I've got quite a few of these really sort of retro cool kits in my store. I'm using some bits and pieces from that. So what I've done here is sort of like, you know, when you do something and you're like, oh, it's pretty bright. I've got some of this fabric here. Each of those kits, they get a bit of purple, like quilt of some sort, which would make a good one of these. I was actually thinking of doing another needles and pin case to match this one. So it came in two pieces. Where are we? It came in two pieces. Had that on that end and that on that end. So I'm going to use this end here because it's a little thicker for on my scissors case. And I might turn this into two of those. I think might even sell them on my Etsy store. I'll just see how I go. So okay, so I got with this pattern, you get just cereal box, which I've cut out. You cut out two of those in the bigger one and two in the, like, this is the front and that's the back. So I sprayed it with this, which is my sort of like the Brusho ink first, and then I coloured it in with these pencils. So I can put these away. Yeah, but they're very, very bright. And it was one of those ones I'm like, oh, I don't know, they're pretty bright. Here we go. They're very bright, but I'm going to make this work. So they're from those little stitchery things that I had. Okay, now I'm going to also got this fabric that I might utilise as well because I got quite a bit of it. So and some of this fabric as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my backdrop here. So this is the same way that you make this big one is the same way I'm going to do this one. Did I end up, I think I sewed both of those bits on the sewing machine. Actually the back I sewed on the machine. So we have a little bit of machine sewing with this as well. Okay, I feel like I'm a little low. Okay, so I'm just figuring out some of the fabric. I quite like that, and I'm thinking stitching days, I think that might look good when we do the where are we, make the little, you know, this thing, what are they called, pins and needles holder. So I think that backing might be good for that. Oh no, it'll match that. Or having this at the front. I was thinking I wanted something where you could see this fabric, because my old one, fabric's everywhere, where are we? The old one, which I pulled apart to get my template, had this at the back and that at the front, and I thought, oh, it'd be nice to have something like that showing at the back, so I might use this to go on the back. Now, which is the front and which is the back? It's really hard to tell, I tell you. I think this might be the front. So I'm going to do that. I might actually do it on here. And I'm going to get my friction pen and draw around it. So draw around, probably this is a good time to use the cardboard template. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I need to know how big I need to cut it. Seriously. This is not working. I need it to work. Come on. I wonder if my other one's going to work better. Maybe that old one's wearing out. I mean, I'm only doing this as a guideline, but I still need to see it. Okay, so what we're going to do with that, so I'm going to cut that around. Just enough so that we can stick it around the outside. Okay. So a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch, because you really do want it to stick in there. So that's going to be the back. Okay, we might keep that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use craft glue. I really don't like using this craft glue, and I'm going to use the bit that is not, you know, like that's got the cardboard side, not the cereal side, because this part you will actually see. So hopefully I've got it so it's sitting within that. Okay, and I might iron that because I want to iron the stuff off. So okay, now what I'm going to do, I think what I did with the other one. Okay, so with the other piece, which is this other big long piece, that's going to be stuck on there like that. So I'm needing some other fabric to go with that, and I don't know whether I really like that. That matches it. Just going to iron it. I was going to use that's what I was going to do. I'm going to use some of this. I'll give that a bit of an iron, because I thought that would be some nice fabric to have on the outside. Okay, very pretty. Now over here, I'll just put those there and there just so I can see how big a piece I will need to cut. I've got my ironing board over here, so that's why I'm a little bit over this end. Okay, now we are going to that should cover that. Yeah, so I might stick it, get this glue and stick that to that purple fabric. And this is just craft glue. If you want to use if you want to use some UV glue stick, that might work as well, but this is just to hold it down. Okay, now would be nice to have some of that rose, but mess everywhere. Oh, look, we'll just put it like that. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, get these scissors and cut about a 1/4 of an inch around that as well. So okay, this is a very squeaky pair of scissors, I can tell you. Okay, now what we need to do is, I think along here, I've got heaps of this fabric so I don't need it, I may do a couple of little cuts. Oh my goodness, these scissors. They're very squeaky, and I might do the same along here, just a little bit close to there, and maybe on the bottom as well. There. So what we do with that is we're going to glue that over. This is where we get messy. Okay. I think that's probably why it's been cut quite a bit on the original one. I'll do a bit at a time, I think. Okay. See how that looks? It's looking a little flat. Looks rather pretty, nice fabric. Now, unlike the one that I made all those years ago, I would like to, I don't want to have all that glue look. So what we're going to do, so this is what we do here, and I'm going to let that dry. Now make sure that it's sitting quite straight. You can see a little bit of the glue through it, but that's okay, it will dry. So we'll do the same on this one, which is the back. And then what we'll do is we are going to sew those two together. So I'll go on the sewing machine. Purple, I think I do have purple somewhere. No, not that one. I think I've got purple in my machine somewhere. So what we'll do, same thing, go around that, then glue those things together. So that's the back and that's the inside. Okay, so with these pieces, which is the front, now the reason why I wanted that is because I might use, once again, I'll put that over there and that'll be the inside. And I was actually thinking I'll either use this fabric here or I like how it's, look, it's quite old. I really do like this. So I was thinking maybe I like a little bit of that and that's going to match. Cutting that. So I thought I like how that's got that there, and so maybe if we have some of that there, but then we need to cut that. Okay, so I will go off camera and, you know, iron those, because the reason why I want, normally if you just have fabric, what you do is you get wadding, which I have cut. Put these pieces away. These are all the bits that you get in the kit. Even some of this, that would be nice on it. Got some wadding here somewhere. I must have put it over here. And I cut it out to the, oh, here we go, this. What you would do is you cut out a little bit of wadding and then you, like that's iron on, you can iron that on and then you cut that around, and so it just has got a bit of padding, but this has already got wadding in it. So I was thinking of using this as the front piece. I might have to really sort of like pull that around, but I'll definitely have to iron that. There goes my ironing board beeping at me. That's just to give me a guideline of where I need to cut. Hopefully I'm in camera, guys. Okay, so what I'll do, get the non-squeaky scissors. Go around it by about 1/4 of an inch. And you're going to have to stretch that part. Okay, so I may make another one. I might make a couple of these and then have one to sell. So what I'm going to do is on this piece I will either have this, and I'm going to have some fabric, some of this, maybe some of this, and where was that other one that I really liked, and sort of put it underneath, and that's where we're going to do a little bit of a stitching. Must be over here somewhere in my batch. I'll just give it a pause. It was this fabric. Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. You either have a thinner bit of fabric and you put some wadding. That's what I've got on there, wadding. So and I'm using this, I'm making one. Put these away so I don't confuse everyone. Millions of scissors. So this one is going to be on the inside. That's the one that's going to attach to the other piece. There we go. Now I've got that fabric that'll be on going onto there, and then I'm going to be umming and ahhing whether I do this piece or that other piece, and I want to have some fabric behind it. So this will be the back, and then I need something for on the inside, which I think I'm going to use just that. So might just have it anywhere because you won't see it. That way I can probably keep some of that. So you won't see it, so I'm going to stick it on this end. So that's for the inside. I mean, you will see it, like as in when you open it to put your scissors in, you do see it. But okay. Just have it like that. Sorry. Okay, I'll proceed to glue these off camera, and then I'll tell you what the next move is. So I've got some of this fabric left over. Okay, so that's going to be on the inside. So that's what it'll look like for now. So I'll pause it and I'll glue it all down. Okay, while I'm here, actually, see how this is, you've got the wadding and everything in between. I just sort of went there, and if you can go in between, I cut some and I pulled some so that it's going to be easier to fold over. Okay, I'll be back. I'll just sort of let you know that, because it's quite thick with the wadding. So if you pull it, like, most of the wadding will still be in there on that part, but you want to get rid of the bulk so that it's easier to fold over. I'll be back. Okay, back again. I've just folded those both over, and then I've glued them and put so my fingers have got glue all over them. I've just put these little things on them to hold them. I'm going to go around the machine and sew that around. So I'll just show you what to do. So that's the inside. That's going to go over the top like that. Okay. Now it does seem bigger, which it is, but we're going to be folding that over. Okay, so what I do here, yeah, it did help because it was 2 pieces. I took a bit to glue that down. Now, just going to get the glue and glue the inside. I'm not going to do too close to the edges because I do want to sew this bit on. Okay, so what we're going to do, that's going to go on there like that. Okay, going to be pushing it down so that those bits are in, and I'll grab some more of these, holding it down on the corners. And then I'll go to the sewing machine, and just with a straight stitch we are going to sew the edge. And on this one I would probably sew on the front, because the bit that you actually sew on the machine is going to be a little better. Oh, that's something I should have thought of beforehand. I wonder if it's too late. Oh my goodness, I've got this to stick on there, and I was going to stitch it down and sew it. I wonder if we can, if it's not too late. So, okay, learn from my mistake. Pull it apart. Ugh. Very, very sticky. Okay, I might. So the top bit, if you want to do some extra sewing and all that kind of stuff on there, I'll try and get some of that off. Ugh. So I've got to let that dry. Did not think that through. Okay, it's all right to have a little bit extra on this part because it's going to sew anyway. So what we do on this part is I better let that dry. Tissues really going to stick to it, but that's okay. Probably not a bad thing. At least it'll be less sticky for me to touch. Okay, it's all going to be on the inside, so it's fine. Oh my goodness, what not to do. Okay, now while that is drying, what we will do is I might put that under there like that. Oh, my fingers. Excuse me, I'm just going to pause and try and clean my fingers. Okay, back again. So here's what I want to do with it. I think I might actually sew these down on the machine, and then I'm going to hand stitch the buttons down. So what I'll do, just got bits and pieces, I might just glue these down with some craft glue, like glue stick. And then I'll go on the machine. I would have hand stitched them down if I had a thought of it, but I'll be hand stitching the buttons, that's something. Okay. Then we've got that. That'll go on the top. And then this little guy will go there. Actually, I might put that over to one side. Oop. Okay, glue him down. And have that sort of going over a little bit, sort of down and over. Okay. Okay, so well, now I'll just pause, go on the machine, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. I've just stitched around those. Ideally probably should have got a purple, but that's okay. So that's the back and that's the front, and that's going to go there like that. Okay, I stitched on the machine, went around there, did a bit of a zigzag and did it on there as well. So what we're going to do, that does sort of need to be bent over because it's going to go like that. Okay, so just got to remember that it will be bent over. So what I'm going to do, I've gotten some thread and I'm going to Where is my... I'm going to stitch some thread along there, but I probably will do a pinhole first either side because it may prove to be a little bit difficult. Yeah, there we go. Just I'm going to put thread on there that will hold the middle of that down, but it'll also give it a bit of decoration. Okay, maybe here. Okay, actually I'll start here, that way I can probably use it go along there. So I'll go like this, gives it a little bit of a 3D look. Next to it, that way you haven't got the bulk underneath, is why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so you can sew through that. So if you wanted to, you could do what I've done and sewing here with a needle and thread, but I thought for the sake of time, and I'm on the machine anyway, so, and I'm going to do a little bit of hand stitching. Okay. Might even do a back stitch. I don't know why it's gone like that. It's just weird the way that the picture has been done, but oh well, we'll work with it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, when I first sprayed the this colour on there, I'm like, oh, I've wrecked it, but I'm working with it now. I'm like, oh well, it's very artistic, and you know, this is a good video to show you with, even when you think you've ruined something, but it can still turn out okay. I mean, that's pretty bright, but it's going to look really nice with the right colours, which it does. But at first I was like, oh, what have I done? Now, do I think I might go through here. It's weird the way it's gone. I might even see if I can try and hide that lumpy bit. I might go underneath and do a back stitch on the actual, because there's a bit of leeway underneath there. My fingers are so sticky. I was thinking it would be nice to do those little crosses and that. So I don't know whether this will be just a long, like maybe hour video, or I'll do 2 parts. I don't know, because I think my last one with doing the smaller one was a 3-parter. Okay, so I think I've got a darker purple, which would probably be nice on the outside, but we can see how we go. And the reason why I kept in the purple is because I was thinking maybe I can reuse this, but I'm not going to glue it on. I'm going to stitch it on, so it'll stay on there then. These doing a little bit more stitching these days. Okay, what we will do is we'll come back through there and so it looks like it's looped around. Maybe that's what it has done. There we go. Well, sorry about that. My window is open and it's quite loud with that motorbike going past. Okay, I reckon we're done with that, and I might use this to sew the buttons on as well. So I'll come down here and see how we're going to do it. I think that will go there, that will go there, and that will go there. So there we go. Just so I know where to go through. Oh, that glue is just everywhere on my fingers. It's terrible. Okay. This is like a purpley pinky colour, so I think I'll just use it on all three of the buttons. There we go. And if I need to, I can always put some glue underneath them to make sure they don't move. Okay. Usually like to do at least 3. It keeps them down usually. Okay, and then our last button, purple one. Just prick the holes. There we go. Now, be quiet when I'm busy concentrating. Sorry guys. It's looking very cute. Glad it's got a little bit of summing in there. I still might do more, but I have to think about that before I sew them together. Now go on the other side. And I don't mind this idea because when I did that one, it was when I was teaching craft at those craft groups that I do, and that's why I had my name on the back of it, because everyone had the same one. About 80 ladies. Okay. Okay. So decide, do I stitch those down or just leave it as is? I think leave it as is because we're going to do a little bit of bending. But I must admit, I do really love this colour. Probably will be really nice. So I reckon I could probably do a stitch along there and then maybe do those. What do you think, hey? I've got, this is a, that's what I did, a permanent marker pen on here, so I'll do that on there. Make it a little bit more noticeable. I'm just wondering whether when I sew it together, I sew them because it's got the three lots together like that. Oh, well, no, the other side as well. So, wondering if I could sew it together with this. It'll be glued just to give it a bit of decorative. I reckon we could probably do that. Okay, now I've got to re-glue that, but what I might do first is and I might do it with like this. I'm going to do with wool, but I think wool is going to be a little bit not working when it comes to stitching it together. I may have to do something a little darker. Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to work. Either that one or that one, rather than the wool. Even though the wool's lovely, sometimes it doesn't always work. See, that works too. All these colours are pretty, and like the wool's nice, but I didn't mind it on there like that because it gave it a bit of texture. But I think in order to sew that down, I might use some wool on the top. Quite like that. Okay, before I stitch it down. Okay. Once again, I'm going to have to start with a hole, and then I might just go underneath. Might do a couple of crosses. Go like that. Always nice adding a little bit of stitching and character. Okay, I'm going to do some crosses along the top. That'll match in with that there, because I think the should be enough what we've got there. Okay. And I don't mind that they're a little bit, some are bigger and smaller than others. Yep. Okay. Then I'll do 3 along here. Okay. And it was easy getting these things through sometimes. Now, it's got a bit of thread underneath there, so it should work. Okay. So what we do now we glue those back on. Then I'm going to go on the sewing machine and I will sew them together like I've done with that, and then when it comes time to stitching it on there like that, I'm going to use a darker thread. So rather than hide it, I'll highlight it. So I will pause and I'll be back when that is done. See, 46 minutes. Okay, back again. This will be an hour video. This is how it's looking, and it is very bright, this pink, but it isn't as bright in real life. It's bright, but not quite that bright. So now what we're going to do, it's been sewn, and then I'm just going to bend it to suit that there. I love the way you can see that over the top, and then it's pretty on the inside and pretty on the inside of that, because you do see a little bit of that because that will be bent like that. So what we are going to do now, this is going to be the tricky bit. I'm thinking, do I use glue or do I just think I'm just going to grab these guys and I'm going to pin them, like as in do this. So I'm probably going to have to bend and hold at the same time, but because we're going to be sewing now, you have to do this with that one as well when you make that little one. Oh, they can go flying. Oh my goodness. There we go. Now, let me have a look. Okay. It will do definitely want to bend that to make sure that these guys are going to fit. You really do need to give it a bend. Because what's the point of making it if the scissors aren't even going to fit it? Yeah, that works. I might just have it a little bit, like hold it a little bit. So, not going to be quite that bended when you actually sew it. Now, this is going to be interesting. It's been a little while since I've done my other one. So we want to get this. So here's my other piece. And if we don't like it, you know, like that's sort of blended in. If I find when I'm starting to sew and I don't like it, I can always come back. Now I'm gonna go in here and see if I can sandwich that knot in between. There we go. I will definitely at least have one in the bottom there because I need some to hold it together. So this is going to go, I'm going to catch it because it's got thread in it. fabric in it, we can sew through the fabrics and sew it together. Actually, I'm going to go underneath and then up again because I think I need to start a little higher. There we go. Where's this? I might zoom it in. Oh, we're getting close to the hour. Now, this may be a little tricky on the old fingers, but I think it'll work. Okay. Bring all this out the way. Okay. Back down. Come up there. Seriously. Oh, not winning. Okay. Anything worth doing is persisting, isn't it? Persistence is the key. Okay, get it on the bottom and then come in from the top. And because it's padded, it's pretty good. And because this is a pearl cotton, it's quite a thick thread. So, see, there you go. It's working. So we're just going to sew around the outside of that, grabbing that, pinching that. It's a bit like English paper piecing, except for a bit, you know, a bit thicker. I like that. I think that's going to look really good. So you go underneath and then push it up through, and that's how it's going to happen. So this may take a little while, so I can probably turn it off and come back when it is done. And I might even, you know, sew those together. See how it's sort of on a bit of an angle, but we'll fix that. There we go. Really sort of want to round it. That's why you need cardboard. Oh, it's looking good. It's going to be so cute. Oh, I like it. They're very different colours to what I would imagine that I would use, but you know, it's how it is. But I mean, I do love I love pink. It's only because I did it. It's very quite bright, that pink. So I hope you got the idea. So you come in underneath, go up, and I got a chenille 22. So wool's all right for decorative, but I think when you're pulling it closer together, you need a tougher needle. So I think that this looks a heck of a lot nicer than what it did when it had all this glue everywhere. And if you want to, we could probably even do a blanket stitch around here and sort of make the edge look really pretty there. So there you have it. How cute is that? So I can stop it here and you'll see the finished piece in the thumbnail, or I can pause and then come back in the next few minutes. Well, probably might be about half an hour. Hopefully it'll pause that long. If it doesn't, you'll see the finished picture in the thumbnail. Okay, hopefully I'll be back. Okay, well, I am back. This is what it looks like. I think it looks quite good with this stitching. It sort of gives it a bit of a decorative look. I may do some stitching along there, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. I did, you know, like sort of bend it forward a little bit, and I think it even looks good with these scissors, even though these are getting a bit ugh. But yeah, a little scissors holder, I think it looks pretty good. Okay guys, well, I'll catch you in the next video. This was just an extra one that I wanted to show you. I'll go back down again to how you can recreate this. Now I'm just thinking, I wonder if I do go around on there like that. Just a look. You'd probably start somewhere here, and then you could glue it, but I think that might finish it off, might make it look good. But I think maybe stitching it on might be the way to go. But we'll see how we go, because I think just by placing it on here and going around in that colour, and you know it's going to work because it came off the old one. Where's the other bit? Nope. Oh, it's here somewhere. Here it is. And that bit goes over there. That might look good. So I will see. We'll see whether that is going to happen or not. I might glue it and then stitch it. We'll see how we go. It does look okay. Maybe you do it on the outside and not on the top. Okay, well, I will I'll catch you in the next video. Yeah, a little bit longer than what I usually do, but it's worth it. I think it's really good, and that's just made from good old cereal boxes. So, and now I've got a scissors holder for a little one and my big one, and it's the same way to do it. So, but if you do this one, you would just I just plaited some ribbon, and you know, did a knot here and here, and it had it flat when I sewed it in. And then before you put in those bits, you put the lace in between, like as in before you stitch that down on the sewing machine, because you stitch these both down first and then you hand stitch the actual piece together. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. I'm glad I redid this tutorial because I think it'll be a lot easier for you guys to understand this one. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.